Admiral Juniper Blackwood stood at the observation deck of the ESS Horizon, her weathered face reflecting in the reinforced plasma glass as she watched the Mercerian delegation's ships approach. Their crystalline vessels sparkled like diamonds against the void, a deceptively beautiful sight that made her stomach turn. Admiral, her second-in-command, Commander Dant Reed, stepped beside her. The quantum intercepts are confirmed. The encryption was exactly where Dr. Paddle said it would be. Blackwood's jaw tightened. For 3 years, humanity had welcomed the Mercerians as mentors and friends. They had shared technology, established cultural exchanges, and begun building what they thought was a genuine alliance. The truth, hidden in their quantum-encrypted transmissions, told a different story. "Show me," she ordered, following Reed to the tactical center. The holographic display flickered to life, showing the decoded strategic plans. The Mercerians had mapped every human military installation, cataloged their resources, and analyzed their weaknesses. But most damning were the deployment schedules. They had been positioning their forces for a swift decapitation strike against Earth's major defense centers. Their plan was to wait another 8 months, Reed explained, highlighting key portions of the data. Once their new battle fleet arrived under the guise of a cultural exchange, they would have overwhelming superiority in every sector. Blackwood studied the projected casualty figures with growing anger. The Mercerians had calculated that a quick show of force would lead to humanity's surrender with minimal bloodshed. They hadn't even considered the possibility of prolonged resistance. "Have they detected Project Oracle?" she asked. Reed shook his head. "No, Admiral. The quantum shroud is holding. They still think we're decades away from developing our own quantum technology." A grim smile crossed Blackwood's face. The Mercerians' arrogance had been their undoing. While they focused on conventional military capabilities, humanity had poured resources into seemingly impossible theoretical physics. Project Oracle wasn't just a breakthrough in quantum mechanics. It was a complete paradigm shift in how reality could be manipulated. "Send the coded transmission to all Oracle-equipped ships," she ordered. "Activation sequence Gamma 7. And patch me through to the fleet." As Reed complied, Blackwood addressed the assembled captains through the quantum-entangled communications network. "You've all seen the evidence. The Mercerians came to us with promises of friendship while planning our subjugation. They believed we would be easy prey. A young, naive species they could methodically box in and control." She paused, letting her words sink in. They were wrong. Humanity doesn't submit. We don't wait for the knife at our throat. In 1 hour, we will demonstrate exactly what humanity is capable of when threatened. The Mercerians think they understand our capabilities. They're about to learn how wrong they are. Throughout the fleet, crews made final preparations. The Oracle devices, hidden within each ship's quantum core, would allow them to do what the Mercerians thought impossible: bypass conventional spacetime to strike from anywhere instantly. "Admiral," Reed called out, "Mercerian delegation is requesting permission to dock for the scheduled technology exchange." Blackwood nodded. "Granted. Let them think everything is proceeding according to their plans. Time until Oracle activation: 53 minutes, Admiral." She watched as the lead Mercerian vessel extended its docking apparatus. Soon, they would understand the cost of underestimating humanity. The countdown to humanity's first preemptive strike continued, each second bringing them closer to a moment that would reshape the galaxy forever. The Mercerian delegation never saw it coming. As High Emissary Kalok strode through the ESS Horizon's docking bay, his crystalline form radiating confidence, the quantum field surrounding his ship silently collapsed. Throughout human space, the same scene played out as Oracle devices activated in perfect synchronization. "Quantum disruption complete," Commander Reed reported. "All Mercerian vessels in human space are now isolated. Their quantum communication networks are dark." Admiral Blackwood watched the delegation approach on the security feed. "Status of their fleet positions: exactly where we predicted, Admiral. Their battle groups are still gathering in the outer systems, waiting for the signal to begin their invasion. A signal that would never come. While the Mercerians had focused on gathering overwhelming conventional force, humanity had been preparing a very different kind of response. "Begin Phase 1, Blackwood ordered. Throughout the ship, hidden quantum generators hummed to life. The Mercerian delegation paused, their crystalline bodies showing the first signs of uncertainty as their personal quantum fields flickered. "What is happening?" Kellox demanded, his translator struggling to convey his rising alarm. "Our systems are malfunctioning." "Not malfunctioning." Blackwood's voice came through the intercom. "Being systematically neutralized. We know about your plans, emissary. Every detail." The security feed showed Kellox's form shifting to a deep purple, a sign of extreme distress in his species. "Impossible. Our quantum encryption was broken 3 months ago." Blackwood cut him off. "Dr. Patel's team didn't just understand your quantum technology, emissary. They surpassed it." On the bridge, Reed's console lit up with new data. "Oracle fleet reporting ready. Admiral. All ships showing green for quantum jump." The human fleet had spent months preparing for this moment. While the Mercerians watched their conventional ships and tracked their traditional weapons development, they had missed the true threat. Each Oracle-equipped vessel could bypass normal spacetime, appearing instantly anywhere in the galaxy. "You don't understand what you're doing." Kellox's voice had lost its diplomatic smoothness. "The Mercerian Empire has stood for 10,000 years. Our technology is based on principles you discovered millennia ago." Blackwood interrupted. "You stopped looking for new possibilities. Humans never stop looking." She nodded to Reed, who activated the main tactical display. Throughout Mercerian space, quantum sensors began detecting impossible energy signatures. The Oracle fleet was moving. Captain Nadia Santos watched from the bridge of the ESS Thunderbolt as her ship phased through what the Mercerians had considered impenetrable defensive screens. Their most heavily fortified command center lay before her, its defenders blind to their approach. "Target their quantum cores," she ordered. "Non-lethal strikes only. Show them exactly what we can do." The Thunderbolt's quantum disruptors fired, sending precise pulses of energy that bypassed conventional shields and armor. Throughout the massive installation, Mercerian technology began to fail as their quantum infrastructure was systematically dismantled. Similar scenes played out across Mercerian space. Humanity wasn't trying to destroy their would-be conquerors. They were demonstrating their complete technological superiority. Every strike was surgical, precise, and devastating to military capabilities while avoiding civilian casualties. On the horizon, Blackwood watched as the tactical display filled with successful mission reports. "They thought we were children playing with technology we barely understood," she said quietly. "They never imagined we could take their fundamental understanding of physics and transform it into something entirely new." "Admiral," Reed called out, "we're detecting massive energy buildups. The Mercerians are trying to bring their reserve fleets online." "Let them try," Blackwood replied. "They're about to learn that everything they thought they knew about quantum mechanics is just the beginning of what's possible." The Mercerian delegation watched in helpless horror as reports of simultaneous attacks throughout their empire poured in through their few remaining communication channels. Their mighty defense networks, the product of thousands of years of development, were being bypassed as if they didn't exist. "How?" Kellox's voice had lost all its arrogance. "How did you achieve this level of quantum manipulation without us detecting it?" Blackwood's answer was simple. "Because you weren't looking for it. You were so certain of your superiority that you never considered we might discover things you hadn't. That was your first mistake. Planning to enslave humanity was your second. And now you're about to learn the cost of both." The Mercerian High Council chamber erupted in chaos as another defensive station went dark. Supreme Archon Nyx's crystalline form pulsed with patterns of distress as reports of simultaneous attacks across their territory continued to pour in. "Impossible." First Speaker Firax's voice resonated through the chamber. "Their ships are appearing inside our quantum shielding. No species has ever breached Mercerian defenses. Admiral Blackwood watched the tactical display aboard the ESS Horizon with grim satisfaction. The Oracle devices were performing beyond expectations, allowing her fleet to strike with surgical precision. The Mercerians' most formidable defensive technologies, their pride for millennia, were proving useless against humanity's quantum breakthrough. "Status report," she commanded. Commander Reed's fingers danced across the holographic interface. "Phase 2 complete, Admiral. 78% of their major military installations have been neutralized. Civilian casualties, 0. They're attempting to adapt their shields, but they're trying to counter what they think we're doing, not what we're actually doing," Blackwood finished. The Mercerians were brilliant engineers, but they were trapped within their own technological paradigms. They couldn't conceive that humanity had discovered principles of quantum mechanics their civilization had missed entirely. Deep within Mercerian space, the ESS Stormbreaker emerged from quantum space directly inside the massive shipyards of Helios Prime. Captain Regina Torres watched as her crew executed their mission with precision. The quantum disruptors, another human innovation, didn't destroy the Mercerian ships under construction. Instead, they rendered their quantum cores permanently inert, reducing their mighty warships to lifeless hulks. "This is almost too easy," her tactical officer remarked. Torres shook her head. "Not easy. We're just fighting a different kind of war than they expected. They prepared for a contest of brute force. We're giving them a demonstration of human ingenuity instead." Aboard the Horizon, Blackwood received confirmation of another successful strike. The Mercerians had spent centuries building their military infrastructure. Humanity was dismantling it in hours, all without taking a single life. That had been her one absolute condition when planning this operation. They would prove their superiority without resorting to unnecessary bloodshed. "Admiral," Reed called out, "we're detecting massive energy signatures. The Mercerians are attempting to bring their legendary Phoenix fleet out of quantum storage." Blackwood allowed herself a small smile. "Right on schedule. Execute Phase 3. Throughout Mercerian space, hidden quantum beacons activated. Humanity had spent months secretly seeding them throughout enemy territory. Now they created a complex interference pattern, turning the very quantum fabric of space against the Mercerians' attempts to deploy their reserve forces. In the High Council chamber, Supreme Archon Nixus watched in horror as the Phoenix fleet, their ultimate weapon, held in quantum stasis for centuries, failed to materialize. "How?" he demanded. "How are they doing this?" A junior scientist, her crystalline form still showing training patterns, spoke up. "Supreme Archon, I've been analyzing their attack pattern. They're not just using advanced technology. They're using principles we never discovered. Our understanding of quantum mechanics, it's incomplete." The revelation hit the Council like a physical blow. The Mercerians had long prided themselves on their scientific supremacy. The idea that a young species had surpassed them in their own field of expertise was almost incomprehensible. "Admiral," Reed reported, "the Mercerian command network is showing signs of complete collapse. Their remaining forces are operating independently, without central coordination." Blackwood nodded. "Send the message." Throughout Mercerian space, on every remaining communication channel, a simple transmission began broadcasting. "Your military infrastructure has been neutralized. Your ability to wage war has been eliminated. We could have chosen destruction. Instead, we chose dismantlement. You sought to subjugate humanity. Instead, you have awakened us. We are prepared to negotiate terms for a new relationship between our species as equals. The choice is yours." The message repeated in all Mercerian dialects, a clear demonstration that humanity understood not just their technology, but their culture and language as well. They had studied their would-be conquerors thoroughly, preparing not just for war, but for peace. Now, as the Mercerian leadership faced the complete collapse of their military superiority, they would have to confront a reality they had never imagined. Humanity wasn't just worthy of equal status. They had proven themselves capable of utterly transforming the balance of power in the galaxy. In the Great Hall of Reconciliation, newly constructed in neutral space, Admiral Blackwood faced Supreme Archon Nixus across a table of polished quantum crystal. The symbolism wasn't lost on either leader. The material represented both Mercerian tradition and humanity's quantum breakthrough that had changed everything. "You could have destroyed us," Nixus stated, his crystalline form shifting in patterns that indicated deep contemplation. "Your oracle technology gave you that power. Yet you chose precision over devastation, demonstration over destruction. Humanity has learned from its own history," Blackwood responded. "Total victory through absolute destruction only breeds future conflict. We wanted to change the relationship between our species, not end it." The peace conference had been going for 3 days. Representatives from both civilizations worked to forge a new framework for cooperation, one based on mutual respect rather than assumed superiority. Commander Reed entered the chamber, carrying updated reports from the Joint Scientific Commission. "The quantum integration teams are making remarkable progress," he announced. "The combination of Mercerian experience and human theoretical innovation is opening up possibilities neither side had imagined." This was perhaps the most surprising outcome of the conflict. Once the Mercerians overcame their initial shock and humiliation, their scientists had been fascinated by humanity's unique approach to quantum mechanics. Human scientists, in turn, were learning from the Mercerians' millennia of practical experience. "Our ancestors would be horrified," Nixus admitted, his form flickering with what humans had learned was amusement. "We believed we had reached the pinnacle of quantum understanding. Your species showed us how much more there is to discover." Captain Torres, now heading the Joint Fleet Integration Program, appeared on the holographic display. "Admiral Archon, the first hybrid ship tests are exceeding expectations. The Oracle drive interfaces perfectly with Mercerian quantum cores when we stop trying to force them to work the way either side expects." Blackwood allowed herself a small smile. The hybrid ships were a perfect metaphor for the new relationship between their species, neither purely human nor Mercerian, but something new and more powerful than either alone. "There are still those among my people who resist this change," Nixus said. "They cannot accept that our destiny is now intertwined with yours." "We have doubters too," Blackwood acknowledged. "But they're being won over by results. The Joint Quantum Research Program has already yielded medical breakthroughs that will benefit both our species and the Deep Space Exploration Initiative." She gestured to another holographic display showing the first joint expedition ships preparing to venture beyond known space. These vessels combine Mercerian stability with human innovation, capable of reaching areas of space that neither civilization could have explored alone. "We were wrong about your species," Nixus stated formally. "We saw your rapid advancement as a threat to be contained. We should have recognized it as an opportunity for growth." Dr. Patel, whose quantum breakthrough had made everything possible, joined them at the table. "The most exciting discoveries," she said, "are happening in the spaces between our different approaches. Your people see quantum mechanics as a set of immutable laws. We see it as a frontier of possibilities. Together, we're finding that both perspectives have value." The meeting concluded with the signing of the Quantum Cooperation Treaty. It wasn't just a peace agreement. It was a framework for joint scientific advancement, cultural exchange, and mutual defense. The Mercerian Empire would share its vast knowledge, while humanity would contribute its innovation and fresh perspectives. As Blackwood stood on the observation deck later, watching human and Mercerian ships training together, Reed joined her. "Did you ever imagine it would turn out like this?" he asked. "Not exactly," she admitted. "When we launched the counterstrike, I hoped to prevent our subjugation. I never expected we'd end up advancing both our civilizations. The Oracle project showed us how to bypass space-time," Reed mused. "But its greatest achievement might have been bypassing centuries of potential conflict." Below them, in the station's quantum labs, Human and Mercerian scientists worked side by side, their differences forgotten in the shared pursuit of knowledge. The galaxy was entering a new age, one where the combined strengths of both civilizations would push the boundaries of what was possible. The stars seemed brighter somehow, Blackwood thought, now that they represented not just humanity's future, but a shared destiny of discovery and growth. They had turned potential conquerors into partners, and in doing so, had opened up possibilities neither species could have achieved alone.